category आती है. Now we see two people turning away from each other. Okay, अब इसको लगा लो आप relationship में, business partnership में, कोई भी दो persons आपस में जो ego का game खेल रहे हैं उसका लगा लीजिए. It is also when two people are thinking very differently. Okay, it means that there is a major difference in the way they look at things. Things meaning it could be the issue or the concept that is there as part of the question also. For example, a young person does not want to join the family business. He says that I want to have a global degree and I want to work for a consulting firm. I want to be in a job. And father has been doing business or grandfather has been into the business. So now suppose this is a scenario like this. How are you going to connect these two cards? And the boy comes to you and says, what are my what is my success potential? And I'm thinking of leaving the family business and applying for he's got a global MBA, he's got a global management degree, and he says that I want to work in a consulting company. I don't want to do my family selling trading business. So he's come to you with a very genuine question. He's an intelligent person. How will you interpret the two cards for him? Taru?
I'm still trying to analyze it.
करिए जिसका भी
King of Wands.
whoever is getting any idea, please feel free to express.
Ma'am, I feel he'll get success in whatever work he's thinking of. Because the Knight of Pentacles is always giving a news about some money, prosperity.
Yeah. So ultimately, what is it? Is it a yes? Or the question is that will I succeed if I work for a global consulting company away from my family business? So that is the question.
Yes.
So if you just look at the cards superficially, ये pair आता है आपके पास, what would you say to him?
I would say yes.
Yeah, you will say yes. But apart from that, any other contributing input?
I think some transformation from the king to the knight. There is a transformation he has to work towards it. He can't just get
Very good. Very good. So there is a transformation in the attitude, whether it is required, whether it will eventually happen, that still has to be seen. First point you are going to notice here is that there is a clash of opinions. Two male figures turning away from each other. The first thing that should come intuitively to you is that there is a power figure here and there is a youngster here who are at loggerheads with each other. They cannot see eye to eye. That's the first thing which sort of strikes at you. Okay. Now, second thing which should come here is, like she said, one is a king and the other is a knight. So there is a difference in the status or difference in the hierarchical levels also. There is a king, which is now, please understand, king is coming first, knight is coming later. What does it mean? It means that somebody who's had a lot of success initially needs to tone down their leadership style and become a knight. The king is becoming or transforming himself into a knight. King means ruling. King means the boss. King means the expert. Knight means somebody who is a very careful executor or an executive or a person who's at the ground level working on the plan. So which means कि इस question में success तो है, लेकिन somebody will need to come down from a very exalted position and start working at the ground level again. So humility is involved, stepping down in the role and the status are concerned. Number 3, more learning is required. Pentacle means new learnings, skill upgradation. So ये जो turning away है, this can be interpreted as a clash of opinion between two persons. It can also mean a clash of, it's not really a clash, but a transformation or a shift in the way the person looks at his or her new duties. So from a position of ruling and making decisions and calling the shots, this person has to now come down, step down from their high horse and do something which is very practical, organized and related to the, maybe the running of the business per se. running of the day-to-day business. Okay. Another very important point here is King of Wands is looking towards the left. Knight of Pentacles looking towards the right, connected with the timing figure. Very important. Timing. Anything that looks towards the past has a connection with the past. Looking towards the left. So which means if it's left here, it is deriving its energy from the past. And the figure turning towards the right is looking at the futuristic time, and you can predict about events and moods to emerge in the coming times. So you can also interpret this as father and son combination. You can interpret this combination as this person himself in the past, he was the owner of a business. So obviously he's like the king because he's in complete authority of the running of the business. And how in the future, if he wants to succeed at the job, he needs to come down and start working at the executive level. And also please understand, King of Wands is fire. Fire means somebody very passionate. He thinks and he does it. It's like very quick, very decision making is very swift when there is a fire energy. Fire and earth. Earth means he will now start to become more systematic in his approach. Yani ki socha aur kar diya. The impulsiveness has to go and he has to become extremely thoughtful. He has to plan each thing down to the last detail, and he also has to ask permission from his bosses. He cannot proceed. Knight of Pentacles cannot proceed without permission. That's why his horse is always standing stationary. It's a junior position. Okay, so all these things, so facing away from each other, also you can see it as an opposing energy, but it is because it is linked to time. Opposing to hai, that's okay. It's now that it is opposing. You can see that one is here, one is here. It may appear opposing, but sometimes when you're talking about diverging energies, one is here, one is there, they're not converging, they're diverging. So diverging, if you connect it with the time element, it is the growth or the transformation which is required in the attitude of the person concerned. So it's a healthy divergence. It is saying you were something in the past, but that no longer works for you. So you have to change your wiring of the mind. You have to change the kind of person you are. You have to bring about positive changes because you want to do something different in the future. So you have to think differently. So ये positive divergence है. Has everybody got this? इस तरीके से आपको काउंसलिंग करनी होती है लोगों की, इसलिए समझा रही हूँ आपको, ये साइकोलॉजिकल बैकग्राउंड इसलिए दे रही हूँ. This is called a positive divergence. It's not a clash of opinion here. It's a divergence. Okay, difference of opinion. And difference of opinion can be healthy, can be much needed also. अगर वो किंग ऑफ वॉन्ड्स ही बना रहेगा तो आपको लगता है कि क्या वो जॉब में सक्सेसफुल होगा, जो वो नई जॉब ज्वाइन करना चाह रहा है? Will it work for him?
No.
It will not work for him. He will have a lot of problems. That is the entire difference between a business person. I want to have my own business or I want to work for somebody else. That is the entire difference, no? In the service sector and business sector. Any questions so far? All clear? So when figures are turning away from each other, they could be hostile to each other, but they could also be talking about a healthy transformation which is required in this situation. So again, you have to see in the context of the question. Okay. Now, suppose if I ask you a question that a girl is coming to you and she says, I have been in a relationship with, she's a Hindu girl and she says, I've been in love with a boy from a different community and his parents are not accepting us. So we plan to do court marriage. Okay. So do you think that my parents will agree or should I go for a court marriage? This is our question. Do you think it will be good for me if I go for a civil marriage or should I wait and try and make my parents agree to this match? And it's an inter-community match. And these two cards pop up for the girl. How will you interconnect them to this question?
Ma'am, firstly, there will be a difference in status in both boy and girl.
Okay. So you are seeing this as the boy and girl equation. Okay. Two
Exactly.
human figures. Fine. What else?
I think she'll have to really adjust
Hmm.
if she gets married to him.
Adjust in what way? Exactly. She would like to know like what kind of adjustments.
So she's
Financial.
probably the. Oh, sorry.
First is what?
She's probably
Financial.
the. Okay, financially, yes.
Financial adjustments. Okay. Can you just elaborate on this? Financial adjustments?
Ma'am, since it's King of Wands going to Knight of Pentacles, that person is not as financially very sound as her parents are.
This spread is about the girl and now connected with her past and her coming future. Then how will you interpret this?
I have something to say. I
Go
think
ahead.
she's a queen of the house, basically.
Yes.
When she goes and marries this guy, she will have to work hard to reach a different level. She's not going to be treated the same like her parents' home.
She will have to do this. From throwing money around like this and barking orders to her staff, she'll have
to adjust.
She will have to be very, very penny wise. She will have to adjust financially. Please understand, financial adjustment is not so difficult. What is important here and difficult is the attitudinal adjustment to making financial adjustments. बहुत problem आती है. Somebody who's used to spending in lakhs and you give her a couple of thousands and you say run the household at this. That's it. That's the end of the attraction, the chemistry, the passion, everything. She's a passionate person. In her past, she's the King of Wands or she's influenced by the King of Wands energy. Meaning she's used to having a luxurious lifestyle, instant gratification of her wishes, instant. She says, I want this, and within the shortest time possible, she gets that thing. She's pampered and she's also extremely proud by nature. King of Wands or a Queen of Wands is a very proud person. Fire energy hai, proud hai, arrogance bhi hai. And for her, and she's again because the card is leftward looking, means in the marriage, even if she gets married to this person, let's say, and she's willing to make the adjustments also, constantly she will be comparing to her past lifestyle. Constantly, when one card is looking to the past, the other is looking for the future, means the future will be consistently and continuously compared with the past. That can destroy the marriage. जब मैं वहां थी तब मैं ऐसे करती थी, पहले मैं ऐसे करती थी. The guy is going to get very irritated with this. He will say that you knew all along how much I'm earning and what kind of a lifestyle I can give you. But because you are the King of Wands, you take impulsive decisions. You think whatever you think is out of love and passion, the King of Wands can act impetuously. So this would be an impetuous decision, and it will call for a lot of changes in her thinking. Not just her lifestyle, but her thinking also. Would she be able to do it or not? That's a different ball game altogether. और पता है क्या है? ऐसे में how do you do now? How do you know? Adjustments भी आपको दिख रही हैं. Person कह रहा है I'm ready to make the adjustments. You give them all kinds of warnings also. Maybe the person, there is a 1% chance she will succeed. अभी भी prediction नहीं हुई है. If you notice, prediction नहीं हुई है. अभी आपने ये बताया that there is lot of transformation needed. Maybe the person is capable of doing the transformation. You never know, na? Individual hota hai kai bari. How do you know? You do not need to pull a third card for this. You can just check with this. Check who is coming first. Hierarchy ke andar. King is converting to knight. If it was a knight converting to king, you would have said a yes. Even if there were lot of adjustments required. Suppose it was let me say, if this combination was a Knight of Wands, okay, and the second card was a King of Pentacles. Adjustments तो तब भी बहुत करनी पड़ती हैं adjustments तो तब भी. लेकिन ये वाला कॉम्बिनेशन फिर भी आपका सक्सेसफुल हो सकता था, because at the end of the day you are getting a status upgrade from a knight, you are getting converted to a king, which means कहीं ना कहीं उसको gains भी होते हैं, adjustment करके gains मिलते हैं. इस combination के अंदर the one whose pictures we are looking at, there are no gains, there are only adjustments. So you will say no, you should not go for this court marriage, you should not do it, because you will have to compromise on each and every facet of your personality and your lifestyle. It will be extremely difficult for you and you will feel very very discontented. Dissatisfaction का कार्ड है ये, दोनों कॉम्बिनेशन डिससेटिस्फैक्शन के कॉम्बिनेशन. ठीक है, तो इसलिए इस केस के अंदर आप उसको मना कर दोगे. ऐसे में आप ये देखो कि कार्ड के जो नंबर्स होते हैं वो इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. कार्ड में नंबर्स होते हैं ना, तो अगर कोई 8 is getting converted to 10, it says a yes, because ultimately there is growth getting tracked over there in that combination. Or a king maintaining his kingship, or a queen becoming a king, that is all right. Even a king turning into a queen is all right, because both king and queen are more or less at par with each other. इस केस में अगर king of wands होता और queen of pentacles होती तो भी हम yes बोल देते. लेकिन अगर वो नाइट या पेज में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है ना, तो आप उसको मना करोगे. दैट मीन्स कि इट इज अ दिस रिलेशनशिप विल नॉट बी सक्सेसफुल, इट विल ब्रेक और इट विल डिसॉल्व. दैट इज योर प्रेडिक्शन पार्ट एंड दैट इज अ प्रेडिक्शन मंत्र आई एम गिविंग यू. ओके
Ma'am, I have a question.
या गो अहेड.
Ma'am, अगर 8 of cups future card पे आता है तो what does it mean?
कौन से कॉन्टेक्स्ट में चारू?
मैम
कुछ तो-
किसी मैम कोई क्वेश्चन अगर कोई बोलता है फ्यूचर में आई बी सक्सेसफुल इन दिस वर्क,
हाँ.
और 8 of cups फ्यूचर कार्ड के लिए आता है, तो क्या व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हाउ वुड बी इंटरप्रेट दैट?
It means that the person will get returns and rewards in that work that they will do, but they are not emotionally satisfied with what they are getting. It's a success card. It says yes, because the cups are upright. All the cups are upright in that card. At the same time, the person is not going to be satisfied at the end of it, because he wants something more beyond it. And so he might walk away from that affluence, walk away from that success, or he will be very bored. Even though he might be the CEO, he wanted to be a CEO, he is now the CEO, it's not giving him the kind of kick he was expecting. So he's very bored, he's very disinterested. Okay, तो वो mental satisfaction नहीं मिला ना फिर. Okay, कहीं ना कहीं तो लेकिन रिजल्ट यही आएगा.
Thank you,
Yes, but with some reservations. Okay.